According to Section 410.8 of the National Electrical Code, a clearance of 12 inches above a shelf would not be an accepted installation for a covered surface mount incandescent fixture. Section 410.8 states that where the surface of the shelf or the object of storage is combustible, a clearance not less than 6 inches shall be provided between the highest point of the shelf or object of storage and the bottom of a surface-mounted luminaire other than LED. Therefore, the minimum clearance required for a covered surface mount incandescent fixture above a shelf is 6 inches. It's important to understand the reasoning behind these code requirements. Incandescent lamps produce heat as a byproduct of their light generation. This heat can become a fire hazard if the lamp is too close to combustible materials. This is why the National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifies minimum clearances between light fixtures and combustible surfaces such as shelves, clothing, and other stored items. These clearances are designed to prevent the combustible materials from overheating and potentially igniting. When installing a covered surface mount incandescent fixture in a closet, the code specifically addresses the potential fire hazard posed by items stored on shelves. The 6-inch clearance rule ensures that there is adequate space for heat to dissipate from the fixture and prevents the shelf or stored items from reaching dangerous temperatures. The exception for LED luminaires highlights the difference in heat output between incandescent and LED lighting technologies. LED lamps are significantly more energy efficient and produce far less heat than incandescent lamps. As a result, the NEC allows for reduced clearances when using LED luminaires in closets. To ensure compliance with the NEC and prevent fire hazards, it is crucial to carefully consider the type of lighting fixture being installed and the proximity of combustible materials. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local building codes for the most up-to-date requirements. It is also recommended to have electrical work performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with the code requirements. Proper installation and maintenance of lighting fixtures are essential for ensuring electrical safety and preventing fires. When selecting lighting for a closet, consider the following factors. Firstly, the type of lighting fixture. Secondly, the proximity of combustible materials. Thirdly, the required clearances. Fourthly, the local building codes. By carefully considering these factors, you can choose lighting that is both functional and safe. Remember that the NEC is a minimum standard, and it may be necessary to exceed these requirements in certain situations. For example, if the closet is very small or contains a large amount of combustible materials, it may be necessary to increase the clearance between the lighting fixture and the stored items. It is also important to ensure that the lighting fixture is properly installed and maintained. Regularly inspect the fixture for any signs of damage or wear and tear, and replace any damaged components immediately. If you are unsure about any aspect of closet lighting installation or maintenance, consult a qualified electrician. Understanding and adhering to the National Electrical Code, specifically Section 410.8 regarding closet lighting clearances, is paramount for ensuring electrical safety and preventing potential fire hazards. The rule mandating a minimum 6-inch clearance between a surface-mounted incandescent luminaire, excluding LED, and a combustible shelf or stored items directly addresses the inherent heat produced by incandescent lamps. This heat, if not properly dissipated, can elevate the temperature of nearby combustibles to ignition levels, leading to a fire. This regulation isn't arbitrary, it's a direct consequence of the physics governing incandescent lamp operation. Incandescent lamps generate light by heating a filament until it glows. A significant portion of the electrical energy consumed by these lamps is converted into heat rather than light. This heat is radiated outwards, and if obstructed by a shelf or other combustible material, it can accumulate, creating a dangerous situation. The 6-inch clearance acts as a buffer, allowing for adequate air circulation and heat dissipation, thereby preventing the combustible material from reaching its ignition temperature. The exception granted to LED luminaires stems from their fundamentally different mode of operation and significantly reduced heat output. LED produce light through a process called electroluminescence, which is far more energy efficient than incandescence. As a result, LED generate considerably less heat for the same amount of light output. This lower heat output allows for reduced clearances in closet applications, as the risk of igniting nearby combustibles is substantially lower. It's essential to recognize that the NEC is a dynamic document, constantly evolving to reflect advancements in technology and evolving safety concerns. Regular updates and revisions ensure that the code remains relevant and effective in mitigating electrical hazards. Therefore, relying on outdated information or personal interpretations can be hazardous. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local amendments to ensure compliance. Moreover, understanding the rationale behind the code requirements enhances one's ability to apply them correctly and make informed decisions in specific situations. Instead of simply memorizing the rules, strive to grasp the underlying principles of electrical safety. This understanding will enable you to adapt the code's provisions to unique circumstances and ensure safe and compliant installation. In addition to the clearance requirements, several other factors should be considered when selecting and installing closet lighting. Firstly, the type of luminaire. Secondly, its listing and labeling. Thirdly, its proper mounting. Fourthly, its wiring methods. The luminaire should be specifically listed and labeled for closet use, indicating that it has been tested and certified to meet the relevant safety standards. Proper mounting is crucial to ensure that the luminaire is securely attached to the ceiling or wall and cannot be easily dislodged. Wiring methods must comply with the NEC requirements for closet installations, including the use of appropriate conductors, raceways, and overcurrent protection. Furthermore, consider the light output and color temperature of the luminaire. Adequate illumination is essential for visibility and safety within the closet. The color temperature of the light can affect the appearance of clothing and other stored items. Choose a color temperature that provides accurate color rendering and is comfortable for the eyes. Regular maintenance of closet lighting is also essential for ensuring continued safety. Inspect the luminaire periodically for any signs of damage, such as cracked lenses, loose connections, or frayed wiring. Replace any damaged components immediately. Clean the luminaire regularly to remove dust and debris, which can reduce its light output and increase its operating temperature. If you are unsure about any aspect of closet lighting installation or maintenance, consult a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to leave it to the professionals. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and in compliance with the NEC and local building codes. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your closet lighting is both safe and functional. Remember that electrical safety is paramount, and it is always better to err on the side of caution. In conclusion, understanding and adhering to the NEC requirements for closet lighting clearances is crucial for preventing fire hazards and ensuring electrical safety. The 6-inch clearance rule for surface-mounted incandescent luminaires reflects the inherent heat produced by these lamps and the potential for ignition of nearby combustibles. While LED luminaires may be subject to reduced clearance requirements due to their lower heat output, it is essential to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local amendments to ensure compliance. Always prioritize safety when selecting, installing, and maintaining closet lighting, and consult a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Remember that the National Electrical Code is not just a set of rules, but a comprehensive guide to ensuring electrical safety in buildings and homes. It is developed and maintained by experts in the electrical industry and is constantly updated to reflect the latest advancements in technology and safety practices. By following the NEC, you can help to protect yourself, your family, and your property from electrical hazards. It's also important to remember that local building codes may have additional requirements that go beyond the NEC. These local codes are often tailored to the specific needs and conditions of a particular community. Therefore, it is essential to consult both the NEC and local building codes before starting any electrical work. In addition to the code requirements, there are several other practical considerations to keep in mind when installing closet lighting. Firstly, consider the size and shape of the closet. A small, narrow closet will require less lighting than a large, walk-in closet. The shape of the closet will also affect the placement of the luminaires. For example, in a long, narrow closet, it may be necessary to install multiple luminaires to provide adequate illumination throughout the space. Secondly, consider the color and reflectivity of the closet walls and ceiling. Light-colored surfaces will reflect more light than dark-colored surfaces, which can help to reduce the amount of lighting needed. Thirdly, consider the types of items that will be stored in the closet. If the closet will be used to store clothing, it is important to choose lighting that provides accurate color rendering so that the colors of the clothing can be seen accurately. If the closet will be used to store other items, such as shoes or accessories, it may be less important to have accurate color rendering. Fourthly, consider the energy efficiency of the lighting. LED luminaires are significantly more energy efficient than incandescent luminaires, which can save money on energy bills and reduce the environmental impact of lighting. Fifthly, consider the style and appearance of the lighting. Closet lighting should be functional, but it can also be stylish and attractive. Choose lighting that complements the overall design of the closet and the rest of the home. By considering these practical factors, you can choose closet lighting that is both safe, functional, and aesthetically pleasing. And it is important to emphasize again that if you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always better to be safe than sorry. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and in compliance with the NEC and local building codes. They can also help you to choose the right lighting for your closet and ensure that it is properly installed and maintained.